Well, everybody, it is a Saturday, and you're thinking about, is it going to be stormy enough for a generator? When am I going to need a generator? You're going to need one now. Now is the time to think about getting a generator for your home. Now, even though there's not severe weather in the forecast, as we've seen already this year, it can happen anytime. Part of the promotion that we do at New Sporty says it's always severe weather season. I want you to stop thinking about severe weather season as being in the spring or in the fall. That's true, but as we have seen in recent years, severe weather can be in the winter and in the summer. It can be any place, anytime. And so that's why it's imperative that you be prepared. And one of the best ways to be prepared is to get your home or business a generator. And you may think, well, it's not affordable. Yeah, it is. Financing is available. Generac authorized sales, service, and installation from R&R Controls. And let me tell you, they know these generators inside and out. You can get them from small to large, and they'll show you how it runs. They'll show you how it operates, and they can set it up so that when your power goes off, these automatically come on and you don't miss a beat. They have been doing this for a long time. In fact, for over, well, let's say back to 1985, the R&R name has been synonymous with helping homes and businesses, and it's family owned. And I've met the family. They are awesome. So whether it's HVAC or whether it's building automation or whether it's installation or things like a generator, you got the best name in generators, Generac, right there. R&R Controls knows how to put them in and maintain them, take care of everything. They do it all. So give them a call, 270 777 2024. That's 270 777 2024. They know how to take care of the 270. So never be without your Generac dealer, R&R Controls in Brownsville. Well, good Saturday morning. I know that says Friday. Oh boy, I forgot to change that. Okay, so I'm gonna do it on the fly here. Saturday. Is that spelled correct? Saturday. Okay, let me make sure it's okay. It's spelled correctly. You didn't see me do that. Saturday, June 14th. I'm Chris Allen here with your 270 weather. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. All right. The radar this morning. Yep, it's sort of active. It's not all that active. I mean, but it's going to be. And as I've been mentioning here and on TV, uh, the forecast is calling for several rounds and waves of rain and thunderstorms. It's not going to be a continuous thing, but all throughout Father's Day weekend, you're going to have to plan for some rain. Yesterday, some of you picked up some pretty decent rainfall, which I'll show you some of the numbers here in just a moment. All right, but let's take a look outside here at 6:09 a.m. Saturday morning, June 14th, and it's a pretty sky. we've got those clouds, of course, associated with some of the showers that I'm going to show you on radar in a moment. But then there's also a little bit of blue sky and a little bit of sun coming through here in Plano, Kentucky, just outside of the city limits of Bowling Green. And really, it's not all that bad. Not all that bad. And I know there were some things that, some outdoor events that were uh, going to take place this morning. Some of those may have been canceled because of, or postponed because of the weather. But I still believe, like I believed yesterday, that really this morning is not going to be all that bad. I mean, there may be a few showers here and there, but as far as, very heavy rain, I think that's going to hold off until we get a little more daytime heating. And of course, that means in the afternoon and early evening hours is when it is going to be the best as far as rain, or however you want to look at this, the worst. But severe weather, not really a threat. I mean, they put in that level one threat yesterday, and it really didn't. I was kind of like, so you're putting in threats and then nothing happens. And then when you don't put in a threat, something happens. Again, it's just the entire weather forecasting universe is having trouble. The computer models, everything, it's having trouble keeping up with this particular weather pattern. It is so different. It's such a hybrid, really, from anything that we've seen recently that it's catching us all off guard. And I do not think that it has anything to do with climate change or global warming or global cooling or this, that, and the other. It's just a different weather pattern, which has existed before our time. We only remember the things that are in our lifetime. We think, oh, this is unprecedented. That's the word that gets used all the time. This is unprecedented. No, it's not. It's happened before. Unprecedented means it's never happened before. Don't fall for the lie. It's crazy. Okay. Don't get me started this morning. 82, 82 was our high temperature yesterday officially at the Bowling Green Airport, 4 degrees below normal. The normal 86. The low was 71. And at the airport, they measured just over a half inch of rain, 56 hundredths of an inch of rain. And they're going to add to that today. I can tell you, we're going to add to it and maybe a lot. But right now, this is the current radar as of 6:12 a.m. this Saturday morning. And you can see, yeah, there's a few showers around, but nothing that's too intense. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. So you can see most of the 270 and a little bit of the 615. So this is, in fact, let me put it right there. That's right now, as you can see down here on the timeline. And you can see that there are little bitty showers here and there. Most of this is light. But as we get some daylight and we get some sun breaking through at times, that will help enhance the rainfall and make it come down a little bit harder because this entire area is just socked in with a lot of moisture. I mean, a lot of moisture, and it's everywhere. I mean, it's Louisville to Bowling Green to Nashville and even beyond all of that. So with that abundant Gulf moisture and just a little bit of heating, that's going to change the dynamic from a pretty quiet overnight, which we had with very few showers, and we're seeing very few showers this morning, to blowing this up into some of the heavy rain like we saw yesterday. So let me run the future radar, and here we go, 7 a.m. to 8 o'clock. We start to see a little more activity around Bowling Green. 9 a.m. 10 a.m. Now, what this doesn't show, here we go to 11 and then to noontime, and then it's going to go back and repeat. So there are the showers as they have been forming up until now. And this is the way it's forecast to be. But what this does not show, this future radar does not take into consideration the added daytime instability that's going to blow these uh, little rain cells up into something much bigger, bigger coverage, heavier rain, like we saw yesterday. So keep that in mind. Even though this is a pretty neat tool to have, you also have to keep in mind the behavior. Here we go with that word, behavior of the atmosphere. And right now, it's misbehaving in a way to where it's almost like poking a bear. It's like there's enough irritation, enough moisture that's there that when you poke the bear, the sun comes out, heats up the atmosphere, then things start to explode. But it's not going to explode in a way of producing severe weather. That's not to say that there won't be a severe thunderstorm warning or two somewhere in our area today. It's very possible. We saw some of that yesterday, uh, especially to the north of us, but it's not going to be, we don't have enough spin, we don't have enough shear, we don't have enough of the dynamics needed to produce widespread severe weather or tornadoes. This is going to be a heavy rain event. The moisture content is so thick and so high that it all it takes is just a little bit of sun to come out. And with a old low pressure system that's disconnected from everything else, it's just sitting out there. It's going to move closer to us today, and that's going to be the trigger for the heavier rain and the thunderstorms. So they're coming. It's just not very enhanced right now, but it will be. All right. We go to the Kentucky Mesonet network, and we see here at 6:16 a.m. Central Time this morning, we have upper 60s to the east, low 70s here in the middle, and it looks like low 70s back to the west. But there's a lot of moisture, and here's proof. Dew points are also in the upper 60s to low 70s. So we have right at 100% or close to it relative humidity. And there we go, 100% humidity in Tompkinsville, in Albany, and in Burkesville, and in Columbia, and in Hartford, and in Muhlenberg County. Don't you, don't you do that to me. Stay here. Stay right here where I put you. Yeah, or Hopkins County. But look, upper 90% to 100% full saturation of moisture in the air. In other words, the air is holding all the water, all the moisture that it can at this temperature. And so all it's going to take is either an old boundary, the low pressure system, or a little bit of sun energy heating up the atmosphere, and boom, you're going to get all that rain coming down, and some of it will come down rather hard. That's the main threat today, and really all weekend. Let's go past 24 hours on rainfall from the Kentucky Mesonet network. Here's a 1.82, Jamestown, Kentucky, Russell County, just south of Russell Springs. Here in Bowling Green, yeah, over a half inch to almost 3/4 of an inch. Lesser amounts from Grayson County, Butler, Hart, Edmonson County, and then back down toward Metcalfe County. Then we start to see over half-inch amounts here and there, but the west is where the heaviest of rains have been falling. That is 2.24, almost 2.25 inches of rain past 24 hours in Madisonville, Hopkins County. An inch and a quarter down in Hopkinsville. You've got just over 2 inches of rain in Caldwell County. That's Princeton And you can see over an inch, inch and a half, mostly in every county back into western Kentucky. So that's where the heaviest of rains have fallen in the past 24 hours. Winds this morning, well, there's no question they're coming out of the south, and that's the Gulf moisture. That's the winds helping transport all of that abundant Gulf moisture and pushing it northward. The arrows indicate which way it's going. It's going north. The winds are fairly light, about 5 to 10. There may be a little bit of a breeze at 10 to 15, but not much of one. So now we know where everything is coming from. We know how it's going to continue to progress. Now let's take a look at the maps, and you can see that we've got a boundary here back to that's a cold front that's back to the west, but there are several pieces of energy rotating around that low pressure system. I'll show you where the low is. Let me move the map. And it's right here over central Illinois, or just east. This is St. Louis, Missouri, and here's the low. So it's got little pieces of energy that are rotating counterclockwise around the center of low pressure. So what it's doing is it's taking that abundant Gulf moisture and pushing it right into our area. So as that system gets a little closer to us today, that is when we begin to see some enhancement of rainfall. The front actually starts to stall a little bit to the west, but here we go. This is this afternoon. This is a combination of the front, the low pressure system, and daytime heating. Mostly daytime heating, heating up the available moisture. And boom, here come the thunderstorms and the heavy, drenching downpours of rain. This is what you've got to plan for. If you're planning on doing a cookout today, going to a pool, going to the lake, going for a hike or bike, or, whatever, something outdoors, even on your back patio, you need to factor in that go ahead and do what you're going to do, but understand that it could really just dump. It could dump a lot of rain on you at any time, especially in the afternoon and evening hours. That's when the best setup, as you see right here, is uh, for heavy rain. So just keep that in mind. I mean, I'm going to cook out, and I'll just plan it. I'll look at my News 40 weather app with the radar and the alerts, and it'll tell me. It sees where my phone is, and it'll tell me if I'm about to get hit with a strong storm or lightning or any of that stuff. So that's why it's important to have that, because we're not on TV 24 hours a day telling you what the weather's doing. Nor can I do this podcast 24 hours nonstop. That's why we have the app. It's with you nonstop wherever you go. Here's 7 o'clock this evening. The heavier rains will start to move east. We begin to lose daytime heating after 7 o'clock, after the sun goes down, of course, after 8:30. Then the front stalls again. I mean, it's just going to rinse and repeat. So here we are early Sunday morning. Most of the rain will come to an end for a little bit. Notice where the front is, slicing right through Bowling Green and the I-65 corridor. But then as we get into Sunday morning, some fog in a couple of places, but notice the front stalling again. And here comes the energy once again, and here comes the rain once again. Here is Sunday evening. In between, it'll be like today, rounds of rain and thunderstorms. And then here's the coverage again on Monday. Here's the coverage on Tuesday. Here's the coverage on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. You see what I mean? Now, the rain chances do go down by the time we get to Friday next week, but every single day for the next 7 days, there is rain in the forecast. At some point, you are going to get rained on every single day. And now I know it's Father's Day weekend, and some of you dads are out there going, I don't have to mow. Honey, Chris Allen says it's gonna rain. I'm gonna have to wait on mowing the lawn. Yeah, that's your pass. See, I got you, man. I got you. But then when you do go to mow your lawn, it's gonna be, yeah, this high. It's gonna be like, oh gosh, this is gonna be so hard to cut. And of course, when it's wet, grass is even harder to cut, and then you get the clumps, and then it's just like, oh god, it's extra work. But such is the pattern that we're in, and I do not see it changing. I do not all of a sudden see like the rain's going to shut off. We're going to go days and days and weeks without rain. I don't see that happening. Now that could happen. That could happen more typical of mid to late summer as we go into fall or just the beginning of fall. That could happen. I'm talking about August, late July into mid August. If we're going to have a drought, that's when it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but sometimes when you see this rainy, 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 rainy pattern, it usually gets followed by a big dry spell. Or just the opposite is true. When we've seen a big dry spell, I keep saying, wait for the rain. It's going to come. It's going to come. And then when it comes a lot. So take that for what you will. I'm not making a prediction that that's going to happen, but it's just the way the weather works. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, let me show you the severe weather threat. And I'll show you that there's really not much of one. This is all garden variety thunderstorms. We may get a strong storm or two today, and it wouldn't surprise me if somebody got a severe thunderstorm warning for a more intense thunderstorm somewhere today in the 270 or beyond. It's very possible. But here's Sunday, same thing, pretty much. Here's Monday, same thing, pretty much. Tuesday, yep, nothing there. Even though there's day after day of rain chances and thunderstorm chances, not much of a threat for us. Here's Wednesday. There is already a level 2 severe weather risk in parts of Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, including the St. Louis area right there, but nothing in Kentucky. Thursday, nothing. Here's Friday, nothing. Now, of course, that could change. We've seen it change often this spring, erratic, severe weather episodes. So, since we're still in that pattern, anything goes, and that's why it pays to be prepared. How much rain are we talking about? This keeps changing as well, but notice the eastern half of the United States is just inundated with moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico and or America. It's an old habit, Gulf of Mexico. I'll just say the Gulf. But anyway, you see some of the purples indicating inch and a half, inch and 3/4, some locations 2 to almost 3 inches of rain. And you could get that with just one thunderstorm. As you saw yesterday, some of you did. Some locations picked up 2 inches of rain out of one storm. So when I show you this map, it means collectively over the next 6 or 7 days. This is how much rain you could get added up all together. But what this doesn't show is how much rain could fall at one time. And that's where we get some of the heavier amounts of rain. Like this is Saturday today through Monday. You could see inch and a half. Yeah, from Bowling Green east will be some of the heavier rainfall today, tomorrow, and into Monday, just to give you an idea. But some of you could get that much this afternoon. So don't be surprised when that happens, because it can. All right. Let's go to the blender. Low 80s today, thanks to the clouds and the rain, but going to maintain mostly mid 80s. And that's where we should be for this middle part of June. Mid 80s, 86 right now is our normal high temperature. But look what's coming. Look in the next week and next weekend. We're talking 90s. Still haven't hit 90 officially in Bowling Green yet this year, but look what's coming. It's coming. You knew it would. You knew it would eventually. 90s. They're on their way. They're going to be here, and it's going to be warm. It's going to be toasty. All right. Uh, 80s with the rain, thunderstorms for Father's Day weekend. Rain chances do go down a little bit Monday, but then they ramp back up Tuesday, go back down on Wednesday, and that's why I think we could hit 90 maybe on Wednesday. Then we get in toward the end of next week, scattered to, well, just isolated to scattered rain chances with highs in the upper 80s to around 90. So, yeah. Uh, Juanita, hope that you're doing better, Chris. Well, I am, but I haven't been sick. You must have seen the post that got bumped up on Facebook that says, I've got COVID. I know I sound like that. I've got COVID. I don't have COVID. Oh, gosh. See, I'm still chasing that one down. That picture of me in the hospital with the mask on and the IV hooked up to me, that's from 2021, Juanita. I'm not sick. I haven't been sick in a pretty good while. Um, so that's and so people keep adding comments to that, and every time, and I appreciate it. People are like, "I hope you get better, praying for you." Well, I always need prayer. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But I don't have COVID. So if you see me out and about and I'm not wearing a mask and you're like, "Oh my gosh, don't give me COVID. You've got COVID." No, I don't. I don't. Quit. I'm okay. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Cheryl, mowing. I am the person that mows, not my. Oh, well, hey, more power to you. Um, no, hey, I see a lot of women out on the lawnmowers and even push mowers and driving the tractors and all this. Hey, I'm okay with that. Very okay. That way I can just sit inside with the AC running and it's all taken care of. No, 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 I'm kidding. But you guys just cracked me up. All right. Have a great Father's Day weekend. If you're a dad like me, granddad, great granddad, I'm that now. Oh, Lord, help me. Great grand. Yeah, it's true. Um, have a wonderful Father's Day weekend. Where would we be without our dads? Well, in case you didn't know, you wouldn't be here without a dad. Just saying. It's it's pretty important. So make sure you make your dad feel important this weekend, some way, somehow, in your own way. Just make it so. All right. Thanks for watching. As always, 270 weather. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back.